Malapit na ulit magpakitang gilas ang Pilipinas. This time, home court nila sa MOA Arena. Magiging mga kalaban nila ay Iran at Jordan, hindi si Michael. Hindi magiging madali, essentially do or die to para sa Gilas Pilipinas. Kaya sa video na to pag-usapan natin ang mga dapat mong malaman bago magsimula ang paparating na Gilas August window. Of course, from my perspective, maraming other information sources dyan na mas valid. Mga lineups, mga quotes from the people that are involved. Itong video na to, i-share ko lang naman yung mga things to point out sa tingin ko if you guys don't mind. We'll talk about a couple of players, yung mga makakalaban ng Gilas Pilipinas sa window na to, at ano sa tingin ko yung magiging case to win nila dito. Number 1, Kai Sotto is back. Sayang kasi makukumpleto na sana sila kaso hindi maglalaro si Brownlee for this window. Wala siya for this window. Pero again, noong mga nakaraan, naging malaking kawalan talaga si Kai sa kanilang offensive flow kasi literal, nasa kanya talaga umiikot yung buong triangle offense nila. For a more detailed breakdown on how gumawa tayo ng video nung nakaraan talking exactly about this. Pero ayun na nga, diba? With Kai back, I'm hoping na yung gravity niya makatulong for other players like KQ, Carl Tamayo, and even Dwight na baka dumali ang buhay nila since meron ng Kai ulit. Ang kailangan lang naman talaga ng Gilas is at least one person or one player na makakapag-attract ng help defense or ng double team. So it'll be interesting gaano magiging effective ang kanilang execution this window considering na meron silang hub sa poste na kayang mag-draw ng help defense or ng doubles. Of course, magiging malaking kawalan talaga si Brownlee for their offense at sa pag-generate ng mga advantages na yon. Pero it's still good na merong alternative and naglaro si Kai for this window. Maybe maging good enough na yon yung gravity ni Kai sa ilalim at least, diba, to activate at least 1 or 2 locals na makatulong sa scoring department. So, number 2. Again, we're talking about Kai Sotto. But this time, pag-usapan natin yung stats niya and even yung playmaking and even yung defense. Sa Asia Cup 2025 qualifiers ages ago, hindi pa siya mama rito sa picture, Kai Sotto averaged 15.5 points, 12.5 rebounds, and almost 4 assists per game. 3.8 assists, di ba? Highlight doon. Ayan, i-highlight ulit natin kahit meron na. 3.8 assists per game from a big man. Sa kanya talaga nakaikot, di ba? That's by design. That's why nung nawala si Kai Sotto, naging one-dimensional ang Gilas and they had to rely sa on-ball creation and umasa kay Brownlee kasi si Brownlee lang and even sometimes, di ba, yung occasional na magandang pick and roll execution nila, dun lang nakaka-generate sila ng advantages. Kaya ang laking kawalan talaga ni Kai. Ngayon, mas afford ng Gilas Pilipinas to run their offense, di ba, more comfortably, I hope. Pwede na lang i-dump yung bola kay Kai Sotto sa poste, sa triangle. Mag-umasa sila sa player movement. And then, let Kai Sotto, di ba, read the floor. Since malaki naman siya at kita niya lahat. Towering over most players sa loob ng court. And shout out to our friend Miguel Alfonso Caramoan. Full government name. May article siya dito sa ESPN na mention niya na si Tim Cone, or I mean si Kai Sotto sa Tim Cone era, ang record ng Gilas with and without Kai Sotto. Kapag with, ang record ng Gilas Pilipinas ay 5 wins and 1 loss. Kapag without Kai Sotto naman, 4 wins and 10 losses. Sobrang laki ng diferensya. And yes, yung mga opponents, diba, factor. Minsan may mga Guam dyan, etc. Factor talaga yon. Pero we can't really deny na kahit manood na lang tayo ng games or ng highlights, kitang-kita talaga yung difference sa execution ng team. Even defensively, diba, like sina Edu, even sometimes si Mike Phillips kapag available, competent rim protectors naman sila, pero iba talaga yung 7-3 na Kai Sotto na internationally competent. And enough glazing, punta tayo sa next factor, number 3. For them to find success sa darating na window na to, kailangan nilang i-limit yung turnovers nila. Sa buong tournament so far, sa World Cup qualifiers, nagko-commit ang Gilas ng 15.2 turnovers per game. 7th worst yon sa buong tournamento na to. That's a lot, 15.2 turnovers. So, kumbaga, kung titignan natin yung ratio, 1.3 ang assist turnover ratio nila. Halos isang turnover kada assist. Ang lala nun. Lalo na last window against Australia and New Zealand nung pinressure defense sila. Hirap na hirap silang makatawid. Kahit nasabihin natin na point guard si RJ, point guard si Juan Gomez de Leaño sometimes, point guard si Newsam for maybe sa last clutch na stretch na pinasok siya. And maybe pag pinasok si Scottie Thompson, makatulong si Scottie Thompson, though a lot of people would disagree, pero I think Scottie Thompson kung ikukumpara mo siya kay RJ and Juan, mas competent siya as a point guard. Though, pag pinasok mo kasi sa Scottie instead of Juan, ang mawawala yung shooting tsaka yung scoring. So, kumbaga, pick your poison. I've mentioned this sa mga previous videos ko. Personally, ipapasok ko si Robert Bolick para lang meron silang parang emergency type of player na okay, hindi tayo makashoot, hindi rin tayo makapag-dribble, and hindi tayo maka-playmake. Magpasok nga tayo ng marunong. Pero anyway, again, they need to protect the ball kasi yung turnovers talaga nila, issue yan. Maybe, again, and sinabi ko enough glazing pero i-mention ko ulit, maybe with Kai Sotto, mas magsasettle yung offense nila kasi less dribbling, more passing and player movement kasi may Kai Sotto sila na pwede nilang gawing hub either sa pinch post or sa sideline triangle. So baka makatulong yon. So next, pag-usapan natin yung comparo between Jordan and Philippines. Parang Toyota Vios versus Honda City. So points of turnovers makikita natin dito ang Jordan. Ayan, 19.2. Halos 20 points of turnover. So, kailangan talagang protektahan ng Gilas Pilipinas ang kanilang possessions sa magiging laro nila against Jordan. And ang Jordan kasi, very athletic team sila. Like, yung guardia nga nila, di ba, si Freddy Ibrahim, a long guard, long athletic, pesky guard who can sometimes turn up sa scoring department pero consistently a pesky defender. And makikita natin fast break points halos pantay, second chance pantay, points in the paint pantay, pero mas malalim ang Gilas Pilipinas. Pero ang issue ko kasi with Gilas Pilipinas having more players who can contribute, yung inconsistency and yung flow, kasi mas maraming players ang ginagamit, mas kailangan nilang mag-settle in sa game. Maybe risk yon for turnovers. So I expect Coach Tim Cone to play his rotation a little bit shorter considering na merong Kai Sotto, may Justin Brownlee, Dwight is going to play, KQ is going to play. Maybe hot take ko rito, baka nga mabangko pa si KQ. Sana hindi naman, 'di ba? Pero sana magamit siya kasi yung shooting ni KQ and yung scoring niya malaking bagay for Gilas Pilipinas. So ayun, I'm assuming this game baka bagal ilakad ni Coach Tim Cone and ng Gilas Pilipinas yung bola. Really execution talaga ang magiging priority nila. Protect the ball, score effectively and efficiently. Maybe yung 3 points nila hindi ganun maging factor sa game na to. Maybe sa points in the paint sila makalamang and sa rebounding and their defense as well. Offensively, wala akong masyadong expectations. I just hope sana hindi nila pamigay yung bola sa kalaban against Jordan. Kasi Jordan is a team that will capitalize on Gilas Pilipinas' turnovers if ever na magkalat sila ng bola. And against Iran naman, ang aking factor naman and ang aking magiging comparo naman against Iran ay ang kanilang percentages. So, ang kulay blue dito ay Gilas Pilipinas, ang kulay pula ay Iran. So, makikita natin dito, 2-point field goals, Iran is better. 3-point shooting, Iran is better, pero kaya better ang Iran sa 30.9% nila kasi ang sagwa naman kasi ng 25.9% ng Gilas Pilipinas. Like, ano ba naman yan? Like, I'm very sorry Gilas fan ako and I hate to do this, diba? Hindi na ako masyadong nang-hate sa channel na to. Oh my God, diba? 25.9%. Ano ba naman yan? Guys, diba? Sana naman tumaas-taas to. Pero again, hindi ako mag-expect offensively again for this game. I hope yung defense nila mag-step up. Rim protection and point of attack defense. Kasi Iran is going to be a little bit harder to defend kumpara sa Jordan. I think that's a hot take. Maybe people are expecting Jordan to be a little bit tougher than Iran. Pero maybe ito yung parang game na baka kumawala pa sa Gilas Pilipinas. So instead of expecting Gilas to execute their offense ng parang pitch perfect, sana yung defense nila sync dito sa game na to kasi mas importante yung defense for this game, especially sa point of attack. So pag-usapan naman natin yung overall game plan, offense and defense from my own opinion. Sa offense, execution, accuracy sa execution nila, limit their turnovers, get better looks, score underneath, points in the paint, wag masyado mag-settle sa 3-pointers na contested, find the best open shot as effective as possible. And defensive end naman, point of attack defense, again, not necessarily yung rim protection ni Kai Sotto, of course, is going to be a big factor and malaking bagay yun sa rim I mean sa point of attack nila. Pero yung defense from their wings and their guards, dapat pinpoint accuracy sa defensive end for both games. Kasi these two teams are bigger, more athletic, so at least stay in front of them. And kung magkaroon man ng defensive breakdown, meron namang Kai Sotto na sasalo. Pero sana, wag nang umabot doon. And then for keys to win naman, para sa Gilas Pilipinas, this upcoming window, again, play good point of attack, defense, yan yung mga ball handling, defending the ball handlers sa pick and roll, one-on-one, sa close-out, scramble, rotation. Pag nagpadala sila ng help, paano sila magre-recover. And then number 2, close-out possessions. Kumuha ng rebound and confident ako na kaya nila yan since meron silang Kai. And then offensive end naman, protect the ball. Ilakad ang bola kahit na boring yun ang pinaka-effective na paraan para manalo since meron naman silang Kai. Ilakad nila yung bola and then ibigay nila yung bola kay Kai Sotto sa poste. And yun ang aking recipe. Hindi for disaster, pero for success sa darating na window na to. So, good luck sa Gilas Pilipinas. It's not going to be easy. Mataas ang pressure kasi kumbaga must-win games to. Pag nagkalat sila dito, unfortunately, medyo malabo-labo na ang kanilang chances sa World Cup and people are going to lose their f***ing minds if hindi sila makapasok sa World Cup. Ngayon pa nga lang, nagkakagulo na. Nagpapanik na ang mga tao, hindi pa nga sila laglag. Paano pa kaya kung malaglag ang Gilas Pilipinas? Ay nako, hindi ko na alam. Kasi that would be a disaster. So good luck to Gilas Pilipinas. Sana ma-2-0 nila tong window na to. And excited din ako for Asian Games after ng August window rather. Pag-usapan na natin yung Asian Games.